Last night, yesterday afternoon, Brian Pillman was found dead.
Now, whenever a wrestler passes away that competed in the WWE, they will pay tribute to them in some capacity. If the wrestler who has passed away was an active member of the roster, it's likely they will receive their own dedicated tribute show, just like Eddie Guerrero did back in 2005 and Owen Hart in 1999. But if they're a wrestling legend and they've been retired and been off TV for a number of years, then it's likely they will incorporate a 10-bell salute with the entire roster on the top of the stage to pay their respects. However, there have been times where the WWE failed to acknowledge a wrestler's passing on television. Why they failed to do this has left WWE fans puzzled and disappointed for years, as they feel that every wrestler who competed in the WWE should deserve at least some acknowledgement for their hard work, but which were ignored. Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 12 wrestler deaths shunned by WWE. Number 12. Dino Bravo. Now, Bravo's passing was one of the most bizarre to happen in the world of wrestling, as he was shot 17 times whilst watching a hockey game. Now, due to the nature of his passing, WWE failed to acknowledge it. Number 11. Ludwig Borger. After suffering an ankle injury in '94, Borger opted to quit wrestling and started a career in MMA. Unfortunately, in 2010, Borger took his own life. Now, there was no mention whatsoever by WWE of his passing. Number 10. Jack Tunney. Jack Tunney would act as the on-screen president for the WWF. Sadly, in 2004, he passed away after suffering a heart attack at 69 years old. WWE would never acknowledge his passing. It was reported that no personnel attended his funeral. Number 9. Chris Kanyon. In 2010, sadly, Kanyon would take his own life and pass away at the age of 40. WWE failed to mention Kanyon's passing on television, and the best they did was to release a brief statement on WWE.com. Number 8. Crash Holly. Holly didn't really have any concrete plans in the company, which would ultimately lead to his release in summer of 2003. Holly would then unfortunately pass away in November of that same year, as he had suffered an overdose at the house of his good friend Stevie Richards. He was only 32 years old. Number 7. Viscera. Viscera would pass away in 2014 from a heart attack, which left a lot of fans and fellow wrestlers deeply saddened. WWE failed to acknowledge his passing on Raw, which left a lot of fans very disappointed. However, they would finally release a brief tribute the following week. Number 6. Lance Cade. It appeared to be an unwritten rule at the time that if a wrestler passed away from a drug-related death, then it would not be mentioned in any capacity on WWE programming. Obviously, this move received a lot of pushback and criticism from a lot of fans, and it took WWE a number of years to see how unmoral this was. Number 5. Hercules. Unfortunately, 6 years after his retirement, he would pass away at his home with heart disease being the official cause. WWE failed to acknowledge his passing, and he's never been mentioned on TV since his time with the company. Number 4. Test. In 2009, 4 days before his 34th birthday, Test would pass away from an accidental overdose. Test was a key part of the Attitude Era, and fans had fond memories of his work, so to not see him get a tribute he deserved was seen as distasteful on the part of WWE. Number 3. Sean O'Haire. Fast forward to 2003, and they planned on having O'Haire debut on the SmackDown brand with a brand new Devil's Advocate gimmick, and he would even have the legendary Roddy Piper by his side. O'Haire would battle depression and alcoholism in the years to come following his release, and he would take his life in 2014, passing away at just the age of 43. Number 2. Doink the Clown, Matt Osborne. The original Doink was a villainous, borderline evil clown who often played tricks on his opponents. Unfortunately, in 2013, Osborne passed away due to an overdose. And number 1. Umaga. He would later be repackaged as Umaga, a character he would find great success with some fans saying that he's one of the greatest superstars to never win the WWE title. Sadly, in 2009, Umaga would be released from his contract after failing WWE's wellness policy. Just a few months after his release, Umaga would pass away after a various mix of pills was found in his body. Umaga was just 36 years old.